Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the every Sunday Big Tech Update Show, where I update you guys all the big six tech stocks on Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. And this is where I'll be doing technical analysis on all six of them, as well as giving you guys support and resistance levels to potentially play off of, and what the most likely scenario in the upcoming week will be for these stocks and how it will move the market itself. Because the six big tech stocks are going to, it's the biggest weighting in QQQ, so QQQ will be moving, and QQQ also moves by, so these six would obviously be moving the market. So to help us better understand the overall sentiment of the market and where the current standing of these stocks are at, and if it moves the market, then you'll also move most of our stocks as well. All right, so let's get into it. So before we get into it, let's take a look real quick at the economic data. I missed it on Friday. Friday, I updated on SPY and QQQ. So if you want to look at a SPY and QQQ market breakdown overall, go to the Friday video. And I also did the earnings calendar and as well as the rate hike over there as well. So there's not much economic data this week. There's barely any. This is the lowest I've ever seen for the past couple months. So there's only Monday PMI data and initial job claims for me on Thursday. If you're commodities traders, then obviously Wednesday and Tuesday would be important for you as well. For me, the data is not that as important because these usually would show up in the price action, which just means the data will be priced into the price action. The most important thing is you just got to know these data are going to be released. So let's say you're in a trade, early in the morning, and just in case either going to be a big red candle or a big green candle to stop you out, just kind of trade around it. So let's get into the chart. So we are looking at Tesla right now. Tesla last week, I was talking about if we do break out of this rising wedge, then there's a good chance we will likely test this 210, and we ended up actually breaking 210. So now we're looking up in the next structure, which is these two structures over here. You can see this cluster of volume trading here and this cluster of volume trading here since we broke that 210 level. And the key for me here is, can Tesla break this February 16th high? Because if we do, then it's going to confirm a weekly trend change. So let's go to the weekly chart. So you can see here, this is the move up for the weekly, and this is the move down, move up, and that's a weekly downtrend confirmed. So now we need to have a move up and move down. Now we need to break up prior highs. So we broke this one high, so that's a weekly trend change. And we see a weekly continuation of that trend, and then we zoom out into the monthly. So if that breaks, then we get our very, very first monthly uptrend. So this is the move up for the month. It's the move down because now you can see this low is lower than prior low. So now we are moving up again. So if we do pick that prior high, this will be the very first monthly uptrend for Tesla ever since, let's see here, ever since we didn't even have nope, none here, ever since this break. So this is a monthly uptrend. You can see monthly uptrend continuation and pull back continuation. So we over here is our last monthly uptrend, and we lost it when this happened, when this turned into a monthly downtrend. So ever since, let's just say ever since the all-time highs, since we break that 92 when we lost it, this would be our very first monthly uptrend attempt for Tesla bulls. So just gotta see if we can get over that February 16 high, and if we don't, we'll probably pull back a little bit and maybe retest again. So let's go back to the shorter term time frame. So that's gonna be the most key level for me is that this one where we rejected on Friday. We didn't get over it. It's pretty much on the tick to 17.65 to 17.25. Yeah, only 40 cents away. So if we do break that, that is a monthly uptrend confirmed, and I want to see us actually close above it. I don't want to be like a boom break wick, and then we come back all the way into here and close of the day and never down here. That would be a bad sign. That would be a bull break without follow through. And if we do break that, then I'm looking back at this two structures over here, 222 range and 229 range. And that would be us coming back to test this structure and the low range of this structure. So these things are volume profiles, meaning meaning you can see all these volumes traded here. So the red line is where the most volume is traded. So those will act as resistance because we are under it. And just as this one right here will act as resistance because we're under it. And so most key for me, break that monthly uptrend and follow through as well with the bulls. And then we'll be testing these two areas for the bears. This is the support I'm looking at. This is 210 because of this prior support resistance. So I want to see as a hold above there, potentially come back, bounce off of it, and then retest that level again. If we do break that, then obviously we're coming back down here in the 200 psychological support, where it was also acting as prior resistance. Now we're above it, so it's going to act as support. Wouldn't be surprised if we do come down to 200 and then bounce and then go back up to retest that if the market is needing to stay bullish. But the QQQ is a little bit overbought, so there's potentially could be a consolidation pullback a little bit on the weekly time frame. Most of the stocks are on the weekly time frame are due for consolidation. Consolidation just means a little bit of pullback and for continuation of the trend. So we'll have to keep watch for that. And most of the big tech stocks are also close to their weekly consolidation. So let's take a look at Nvidia. Nvidia is just a little bit different than other tech stocks because due to its 30% earnings gap, obviously it's also due for its weekly consolidation, as you can see on the weekly chart right now. This is a weekly consolidation. Just means the prior candle closes below the prior low, and then it's a weekly consolidation, just for continuation of the trend. Another weekly consolidation here, and another one here. So now we have a huge move up, so we're likely looking for a weekly consolidation. So all you have to do is break prior lows previous week, and we break it down here. We don't have to drop anywhere like down here or anything. Just a slight break, and then obviously we don't know if it's going to continue, but that's just what weekly consolidation is. So the most likely scenario for me is how the size of this pullback. I've been talking about this in all my videos, how important the size of the pullback or the move is will determine the next move. So let's say this A to B move, 48%, we pull back to right here at 0.382 on the weekly consolidation. I say next week, Canada, we close here, right? That's perfectly going to be perfectly good for the bulls. And given that we bounce, obviously, and here, that means it's a weekly bull flag. So that would be chop, chop, chop. And then down here, we bounce off of here, held support. Bulls defend the support. You can see people buying. That means it's a potential weekly bull flag for higher continuation. Obviously, if we do come back and break this, that would negate the bull flag, and then we'll be looking at 0.5. So if we do pull back that much and break 0.5, the most likely scenario on the next bounce here would mean that it will make a lower high. This high is going to be lower than this high, then we'll potentially confirm a downtrend. So the size of the pullback is going to be the most key for me. Watch this next 2 weeks on most of these big tech stocks because we are quite due for a slight pullback, just like a consolidation, right? So if we're back down here looking, let's say we're here, we're like, okay, this move was already enough and we needed weekly consolidation. And this is all we got, this little blip, right? Obviously, the trend is going to continue upwards if that's all we got from the weekly consolidation. And because I'm talking about the size of the pullback is going to determine the next move, the most probable scenario of the next move. Obviously, things can change on an instant, but so you have the idea of there's still a lot of bulls buying here, and then it's continuation of the trend that's already been continuing. It's always follow the trend. So the thing I'm looking at on Nvidia on the 4-hour is a inverse head and shoulders. Sorry, not inverse, just the head and shoulders. It's a bearish pattern, meaning an uptrend forming into a downtrend. That's what head and shoulders is. So, so this is an uptrend, and now we have a big enough drop where it could potentially set that lower high here. lower than this high, and then this is the neckline. So if you do break that, then it's a confirmed head and shoulders pattern with a confirmed downtrend. See how that plays out. We need to obviously break this support first, this 2 levels, before that can happen, and then break that neckline here. All right, let's get into Apple. Apple is pretty much just testing its all-time highs after Nvidia hitting all-time highs. Microsoft and Apple wants to hit all-time highs as well. So you can see we are just shy away of 20%. Let's see, just 1.1% away from all-time highs for Apple. It's been just right here, and so that's pretty much just the neck resistance of the bulls. There's not a lot of resistance up here. You can see we just have a few candles trading up here. It's not a lot of volumes, so it's going to be starting to become a price discovery. And the support I'm looking at, it's 180. Bulls couldn't get over 180 for a few days here, and now we got over it. So that's the most nearest term support. And if you are a bear, I don't see any red flags on Apple. And Apple is like the last stock that I would be shorting in the market. I recommend you guys find a weaker stock if you were a bear. And because the 2-day, so I go to the 2-day time frame. See the teal looking line is a 12 EMA. So it's been riding 12 EMA perfectly for the last three months. All you have to do, if you're a bull, you can just keep riding it. Keep riding it and keep riding it until that 2-day time frame, EMA 12 breaks. You can see we have bounce off of it here, bounce off of 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 here. And so what the bulls want to see is a sideways consolidation action, just like this perfect sideways action right here, to go sideways for the EMAs to catch up and let the indicators cool off, and then we bounce again. And that's exactly what it is. And zero signs of bears. You want to see hourly downtrend first if you're a bear. We don't even have that. So yeah, we're looking at all-time highs or potentially form that hourly downtrend if you're a bear. This is an hourly downtrend right here, but there's not a lot of follow through. You can see we just bounce off of it. The 2-day EMA 12 around this level, and then a bounce off of it. So the very first step, bears, hourly EMA 12, and for the bulls, continuing to ride that 2-day EMA 12 and potentially test that all-time highs. Microsoft, similar. You can see we're testing this structure right here, the all-time high structure. It's a little bit more resistant for Microsoft than Apple. You can see Apple only have a couple of wick candles above it. For Microsoft, it's actually a sideways action. So let's just take a look, draw the volume profile real quick here. Okay, so this red line is where the most volume is traded in the structure, which coincides exactly with the resistance we have been testing right here for the last, this 335 range for the last couple of days. You can see we couldn't get over it on Tuesday, Wednesday. Got over it slightly on Friday, but came back under it. So that's another rejection for me. So that's going to be the most key for me. So if we do come back, then the daily time frame EMA 12 is going to be our support, which see we bounce off here as well, and bounce off of here. This we broke through it. It was for some reason, I think it was news, and we've been riding on it. So you can see it's a clear guide over here. We're just trending up, bounce off of here as well, right here. And so let's say we have a red day tomorrow and go sideways a little bit, bounce off of this low of this structure, lower range of the structure support, go sideways, and then the EMA catches up and the as things cool off, potentially we can bounce up to retest this level again. Or if it breaks that, then we're likely coming back down to test these lower range of these resistance, especially this one right here. There's a lot of support here. These real quick. So that's what I'll be seeing on Microsoft. And on Google, it's exactly the same as last week, zero change. So this is it. This is the level we've been testing for 2 weeks straight after this huge move up. And got rejected again on Friday. So there's potentially if we do break the low of this range, see this cluster sideways range, this low range I think bouncing off for 2 weeks as well as rejecting in 2 weeks. So if we do break below that range, then we're breaking back into the structure. So I'm looking back into this 120 level where it was acting as this structure, top of the structure, back as support. We break back into this range. So we'll see. Google is pretty much the easiest to chart. Just have to look at the sideways range. If you're a bull, you want to see break above. If you want a bear, you want to see it break below this structure. Linear term, obviously. And Amazon is a breaking out of this rising wedge since 2 weeks ago, and it's been catching up to the other big tech stocks. You can see Amazon has not been participating in the bull run as much. We've been chopping this structure down here for a couple months and finally broken out. So it does make sense for Amazon to be relatively stronger in the last couple of weeks. And let's take a look at its daily time frame. So daily time frame is perfectly fine. It's just uptrend continuing. You can see uptrend pullback, uptrend retest of that wedge, resistant, testing and support again, bounce off of it perfectly, and it's continuing. So level I'm looking at would be, don't want this, would be top of the structure here. So if we do break that top of the structure right here, the June 6th high on 2022, it would obviously we need to break this one first, which is the low range of this structure and the top range of this structure, which is this top range, coincides with this low range of the structure, and that's where we rejected on Friday. So if we do break that, then we're looking back to just structure left, and there's not a lot of resistance on this structure. So if we do break this 228, we're looking at over here 135, which is the last boss, which is your 2-year consolidation right here. Your 2-year consolidation range, the low range of here, right at these levels, which I probably think will likely reject the first time if we do get there. But as of now, we are pretty far from there, still about 10%. So probably won't shoot up because QQQ is also due for a weekly consolidation. And yeah, take a look at my QQQ video and SPY video on Friday. I talked about the weekly consolidation there. So potentially, if QQQ pulls back, all these tech stocks are going to pull back together and have that weekly consolidation, just like is due for Amazon as well. You can see right here, big move up, consolidation. Now it's a huge move up. So we're likely need to have some consolidation, like a little bit of pullback to close below the prior candle for weekly consolidation to form for us to either continue, or if this pullback is going to be big enough where we can potentially scout a bear move here, or we scout a bull move. This is a shallow pullback. So we'll see this upcoming week. And the debt ceiling was passed, I think, yesterday. So we'll see, or Friday, forgot. But so we'll see what the futures open will be like, when if it was priced in or not. And since we have been running so much, it could potentially be priced in, and maybe we get a gap up open and then a sell off at the gap up open. That can potentially be what it is. See, QQ has been due for consolidation as well, just like this huge move up, weekly consolidation, huge move up. Now we need a weekly consolidation as well. So likely the next couple of weeks for me would be more so a sideways action than a sideways / slight dip kind of action where we need some consolidation going on. So we'll see if the bulls buy the dip on this next slight dip. And I will update you guys tomorrow on the market on the daily market update show. And have a great rest of you guys' weekend. And feel free to subscribe if you guys made it this far, as well as feel free to comment below if you guys got any questions and things you guys want to see in the market. Let me know. And as well as if you guys are bullish or bearish and currently in the market. And have a great rest of you guys' weekend.